my name's Jen Chase, and I'm a musician, playwright, and a professor at FSCJ. La Caroline is a story of René de Laudonnière, who founded Fort Caroline here. I thought it was a phenomenal opportunity to illuminate a story that many people don't know about and look into our unique heritage and our unique connections with the Timucua and their rituals and traditions, and the French connections. I think what makes a city great is its stories. And I think it's important to make connections between what we're doing now, the struggles and conflicts that we have in our society, and those struggles in the past. What can we learn from them? What can we celebrate, if anything? And those kinds of things give character to a city. I think the goal for me as a playwright of taking this incredibly rich, epic story and trying to condense it into an hour and a half of drama that resonates with music and dance and has some sort of relevance to what's going on in our world today.
Jen was very clear about this being a rock musical, a rock opera. So I'm taking a very modern approach to the music while still trying to use some elements of American Indian folklore and those types of things, and incorporating them all into the songwriting process.
It comes quite naturally to both of us to take past ideas and convert them into a musical voice now that resonates with the now. Our texts, our costume, we're all students from FSCJ and UNF.
I was just amazed at how well they did. I was really impressed with how they handled it.
It's a historical rock opera that really can speak to a lot of different audiences. It's going to be good for the city of Jacksonville, and that's, I think, sort of what we all want.
We put a lot of personal work into it. I think for 6 hours at a time, up to 3 times a week, we would all meet, and we had an amazing director. And I'm just so grateful that we can put together a team like this and devote our time to be able to learn about this.
And the audience seemed to love it, and it went over very well. So I was very excited after that first performance, the only performance that we did here in Jacksonville. And I was very excited to get started on looking forward to France.
It was really an awesome experience. And then, you know, taking all of that to France and also communicating that story to a different audience in France was also, it was really cool, just because you got different reactions from people, and you also got to, you know, experience a different culture.
It was a growing experience for me, doing a project, doing a rock opera, which is, like I said, very distinct from what I've ever done. It was not completely in my comfort zone, which is an ideal situation for a performer because it's one of the greatest things when you're doing something that you're not totally comfortable with, which is awesome as well. But then you branch out, and then the things that are more comfortable with you initially are even more comfortable, and you just become a much better performer.
One of the funnest things that I've ever done is we actually went all around Nantes to 5 or 6 different points, and all in costume and everything, and just trying to promote our play, and sang a couple of songs and tunes for just random people out there in the middle of the streets of Nantes.
It was certainly a great experience for me as a vocalist, because I've never had any official training. So it was really cool to get around all these other actors who are great vocalists and who have been doing this for a while now. While I was one of the more experienced actors and theater people, they definitely had a much better hold of their vocal abilities. And I really respect a lot of them for that. And a lot of them really helped me through and to figure out and find my own voice, and which was a really, really great blessing.
For me, this was my first like big, I guess, theater production of being a part of, and it was really exciting to be a part of something that was like new, because you can't really, you know, copy someone. You kind of have to make it your own.
It was a whole different experience, being able to sort of go to our sister city and make a real connection and sort of show our shared past and our understanding of what happened. They were really excited for us to be there. And the fact that they want us to come back is pretty incredible too.
When you go to France, you're looking around, everything just feels, you know, like you're in history. Like there's history all around you.
Last time we went to France, we put on a stage production, and to introduce the piece and to introduce the project that we would be working on for the next couple of years. But this is more workshop driven. We will be working with Bob Destiny, who worked with Billie Holiday, and I'm extremely excited about that.
I'm really looking forward to the development process, especially the workshopping. That is it's something a lot of performers don't really get to experience. You know, working with a brand new show that hasn't been premiered yet in its full length, and having the chance to especially work with the writer, I think that's a really rare chance. It's really neat to be able to, you know, kind of come together and say, yeah, you know, both of our countries played a major role in this event in history.
This project is a very admirable project. I feel it's celebrating something in history that a lot of people, I think, take for granted and don't really know a whole lot about. You know, a lot of us are here because of all of the expeditions to the New World, and colonizing the New World.
I think, for me, I think sometimes a lot of people forget our history, and it's really, really important, you know, because it's pretty much the reason we are who we are today. So something like this, you know, I think it's really important for people to be reminded of, you know, things that happened, mistakes that we made, so that we can learn from them.
We have a chance to share with the young people of our community history that brought us to this point that would otherwise be forgotten, in a way that's entertaining and factual, while experiencing the fine arts.
You can see some of the best young talent ever working on this show, and it's going to be it's a great mix of dance and traditional theater and music, and all of the performers that I've met and all the ones who are continuing to stay with this project are just so incredibly passionate.
I think it'll boost the sort of energy of the arts field in Jacksonville if we can say, hey, we have artists and performers from Jacksonville going, you know, all the way to France to perform original work from a local playwright.